Can't Wait to Learn, the Curriculum Content Planning Framework and Practical Maths Program. The Can't Wait to Learn program is a self-paced digital game delivered on offline designated tablets or as an app for phones or desktop. It provides curriculum-aligned quality education to children in both formal school settings and informal settings in our implementing countries. The game worlds, characters and stories are co-created with children because we know it's important that they see their worlds and lives reflected back at them as they play. We work together with Ministries of Education to ensure competencies and objectives are aligned with each national curricula we work with. Children's progress is monitored and used for further improvements and iterations of the games because Can't Wait to Learn values learning, both of the children who play and also of everyone involved across all of our implementing countries. All learning is valued and, most importantly, acted on and used to improve and grow, which is crucial to both our past and ongoing success. We believe children can always be learning more and better. Therefore, we also need to formatively assess our own performance and our learners' progress whenever the opportunity arises. Over the last 4 years, we had the opportunity to design a full maths program we would feel comfortable to use in a classroom ourselves and contain everything we would expect to see in a mastery maths teaching program. We call this living document the Curriculum Content Planning Framework, or CCPF for short. We created a visual language, identity, and level of standards of who we are as an education program in a way that's flexible and adaptable to different curricula around the world. It was our next step in firming up exactly what we want to achieve with our maths games, and after many years of implementing and learning, deciding exactly how we wanted to achieve it. The aim was to consolidate and improve teaching and learning, both as an edtech program and also for good classroom practice. Why have a curriculum content planning framework? The framework was developed as a cross-countries master maths document to help us plan and create new content that links to curricula from different countries and regions around the world more effectively and efficiently. It is designed to give us greater choice and flexibility by allowing us to clearly see our existing library of mini-games, activities and instruction videos and use them to expediently align with any international curricula. It allows us to provide and continue to develop opportunities for maths mastery at greater depth. This is something all teachers do in a classroom setting, but it can be very difficult to achieve on a tablet or technology-based program that has fixed content, particularly if it is not methodically considered and meticulously planned. Background: the Can't Wait to Learn maths game rationale. The Can't Wait to Learn maths game was initially developed using American educational psychologist Benjamin Bloom's mastery learning approach. He believed learning goals needed to be broken down into a number of smaller learning objectives that encourage learners to play with, explore, and really understand concepts at a relational level rather than just as a set of rules or procedures. With the mastery approach, learners must achieve a certain level of mastery knowledge in a concept before moving forward to learn subsequent skills. The structure and connections within the mathematics are emphasised so that learners develop deep learning that can be sustained. Its core belief is that any lack of progress is not necessarily a lack of ability on the learner's part. Instead, ample time, quality instructional strategies, and multiple methods of solving a problem are the path to developing a deep knowledge and understanding of the key ideas that are needed to underpin future learning. Mastery recognises that practice is a vital part of learning. However, it must be intelligent practice that both reinforces learners' procedural fluency as well as developing their conceptual understanding. What is in the planning framework? 10 international curricula from Africa, the Middle East, Asia, Europe, America and Australia were mapped. Their Year 1 to 3 objectives were all taken out and combined under 19 different maths strands. The objectives were then sorted and any replications were removed, some were combined, and child-friendly versions of each were then written. This was done to get the greatest depth and detail about what is covered in each strand around the world so we can see gaps in our own content and also what we can do to extend learning opportunities when we have covered a particular country's curriculum requirements. How do we use it to link content to a country's curriculum? The first step is always mapping a country's curriculum. This is a process of extracting all core objectives, competencies and themes from a country's full maths curriculum for years 1 to 3. We would then take these objectives to the framework, which we then use essentially as a tick sheet. We go through our extensive list of objectives and instruction strategies and simply tick them off to make sure we've covered everything. It also then allows us to see if we need to create any new content to fulfill that particular country's teaching and learning requirements. This is always done in consultation and collaboration with ministries of education. Another benefit of the curriculum content planning framework is that it also allows us to have very specific discussions and reviews of exact content, and it also allows us to show countries any extra content we may have that can be used to further enhance learning outcomes once the initial needs of the curriculum are met. Why does Can't Wait to Learn favour the CPA approach to teaching and learning? One of the most fundamental learning theories to be implemented within any mastery program is the 3-step CPA, or concrete, pictorial and abstract approach. The goal of CPA is to break concepts and topics down into smaller progressive steps where concepts are addressed from a number of directions that challenge learners to understand and think mathematically rather than just have them memorise the mechanics of problem solving. It draws on visuals, manipulatives and a variety of examples so the learner has the best chance of understanding the topic. Developing an understanding of how and why maths works is crucial to mastery. Concrete materials, different contexts, drawings, diagrams and equations all play a role. The CPA approach spends time building the foundations of maths. Having the concrete and pictorial stages opens up many opportunities to create technology-based games or written workbook activities that allow children to explore and see maths concepts and processes when they may not have a teacher available who would normally demonstrate and guide them through that process. It gives that valuable additional scaffolding and resources to help them actually solve problems, which will help direct learners to a deeper understanding of concepts and provide greater opportunities to make connections between different representations and strands of mathematics. The CPA approach builds learners' mathematical fluency and teaches them strategies to help them think mathematically. The CPA approach provides the clearest, most sequential and visual way to guide learners through a scaffolded pathway to success. It was deemed the best way of translating a curriculum from a written document that would normally be delivered in a classroom by creative teachers using many varied methods and strategies to a fixed information, technology-based learning tool. It provides the greatest opportunities to succinctly explain concepts and to then provide engaging, interactive games and activities that are not just like a set of abstract maths questions. CPA is an effective approach for developing learners' ability to transfer understanding between resource and action, representation, symbol, language, real-life experience and application that characterises mastery of learning. The CPA approach requires carefully structured activities that are planned in small steps that provide the necessary scaffold for all to achieve, and the necessary detail and rigour of all aspects of the maths to facilitate deep thinking. Helping learners develop confidence and security when working with the abstract representation is the ultimate goal of the CPA approach. So making the correlation between concrete and pictorial, and then how symbols can provide a shorter and more efficient way to represent numerical operations, is key to the approach. The CCPF Practical Maths Program. Educators are always asking us for enrichment activities for children, resources for their classes, and ideas of how they can support students' learning. They're often paraprofessionals or facilitators with little or no teacher training. The CCPF Practical Maths Program is a response to requests from ministries, teachers, facilitators, parents, and partners. As part of our process, we had previously developed a much smaller version of the maths program to be used by teachers to bring the game out of the tablet and into the classroom, so they could feel more connected to what the children were doing in sessions, and as an additional component, so anything the children may have been struggling with had simple resources and ideas to help teachers explain concepts to the class. After our Ukraine response, we decided the best way to share our material in a meaningful, usable way for organisations or schools across the sector who may not have access to tech was to extend the resources and our game content into a full, standalone classroom maths program with full instructions and directly linked activities that could be used in an off-the-shelf kind of maths lesson. However, we also wanted to create resources and opportunities for teachers to be inspired to use their own creativity when planning lessons, activities, or games if needed, rather than being a completely prescriptive program. The CCPF Practical Maths program aligns with the Global Proficiency Framework. Now, have a look at the How to Use the CCPF Practical Maths program tutorial to learn how to plan your lesson.